Welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. I'm joined by my super PAC, the TalkTV contributor Esther Krakue, the socialist author Grace Blakeley, and from New York, the Spectator's associate editor Douglas Murray. Welcome to all of you. I want to start with you, Douglas. Kevin Spacey, a dramatic turn of events today where Kevin Spacey was found not guilty of all charges in the sex assault case. This despite being already convicted by the inevitable court of public opinion on social media for a year. This is what he said when he came out of court afterwards.
I would like to say that I'm enormously grateful to the jury for having taken the time to examine all of the evidence and all of the facts carefully before they reach their decision. And I am humbled by the outcome today.
And what was interesting, I thought, Douglas, was the number of people I've heard on the airways, commentators, broadcasters and so on, saying, you know, despite this, it's going to be almost impossible for Kevin Spacey to get his career back in Hollywood. To which my response instinctively is, why? The guy's just been found not guilty. Right? How have we got... This, to me, is the personification of cancel culture, where someone is found innocent on all charges, and yet there's a kind of presumption that he can't return to his previous career.
Well, one thing, Piers, is, I mean, you said that this is a surprising verdict. It's not surprising at all. Kevin Spacey's been exonerated at each of the trials he's been put through. He was exonerated in the US last year. He was exonerated today in London. Anyone who followed the US trial, the civil case of Anthony Rapp, knows that Anthony Rapp made false allegations against Kevin Spacey that were proved to be false in a US court. Now, if anyone followed closely the incredibly weak, appalling case that the CPS brought against him in the UK, the four claimants had one of the weakest cases I have ever seen brought before a jury. And nobody who followed this case could possibly be surprised that the jury came back saying that Kevin Spacey was innocent. He has been repeatedly proven innocent in court. For 6 years now, he has been put through the most incredibly intense cancellation you could possibly imagine. 6 years of false allegations against him and a destroyed career. And just remember, before this, he was one of the most successful actors on the planet. House of Cards was the most successful show on Netflix. This shows what happens when a society loses grip of the idea of innocent until proven guilty and decides always believe the alleged victim. Because you know what? Sometimes the alleged victim is an absolute provable liar. And that has been the case in the trials of Kevin Spacey, and I wish that our society would learn something from it.
Listen, Grace, it's you know, I look at Kevin Spacey and I see a guy, life ruined, he's got no money left, apparently it came out in court, he's got no career, no one will hire him, everyone dropped him like a sack of spuds, social media persecutes him mercilessly, convicts him and so on. What does it say about our society that this guy turns out to have been innocent of all charges, but he's dead and buried in terms of his career?
I don't know if it says something about our society. You know, these cases are complicated. They're always incredibly complicated because they often boil down to he said, she said. Obviously, it is incredibly important to maintain this idea of innocent and proven guilty until proven guilty.
But I'm talking about really the way social media
what's kind of been being discussed behind the scenes. What, you know, if people say he's not going to work again, what, you know, there's always this idea of there are people who it's an open secret that they do X or Y or Z, or they're a bit inappropriate.
Look, I'm talking specifically about the court of public opinion fueled on social media, which is so merciless that it makes people so damaged by the
as well as I do, Piers, that is what happens when you put yourself into the public eye. You know, there are going to be people who are going to want to take you down. And, you know, we have a legal system for this reason. It's to try and get to the truth at the bottom of some of these allegations, to make sure that people are, that these things legally at least do abide by the principle of innocent until proven guilty. There's nothing you can do short of literally censoring free speech to stop public figures from being attacked.
Well, actually, what you can do, Esther, I mean, I saw that on the Hugh Edwards story, for example, when a lot of other BBC male presenters started being inaccurately accused of being that person, you know, Jeremy Vine was one of the people who took legal action against one of these people and actually did make the person pay £1,000 to a charity. Maybe public figures just do need to start suing people on social media on a regular basis to make them realise you can't just say everything you want when you feel like it. Particularly when someone's facing a trial that could be the end of their entire careers.
Well, that's certainly part of it, but I think two things need to be done here. One, if a claimant in a case like this has been proven to be a liar, they need to be prosecuted. We really need to tighten the laws on these things because these acutely affect people that are in the public eye. If it's proven, because it's difficult, because then you don't want to disincentivize people that have genuinely been abused. That's what I mean.
Social media companies do not abide by the same regulations that, say, the print media do or broadcast media do, and it's a massive problem.
They don't abide by really any regulations.
Well, that's because they're platforms, not publishers.
Yeah, but I think it's insane. They are publishers, and they should be treated as publishers.
But is that not censoring free speech? Are we not on Uncensored?
Douglas, you want to come in?
I need to make a point about this because actually this isn't just about social media, it's also about the media. The media went huge internationally when Anthony Rapp made his initial provably false allegation about Kevin Spacey. The international media around the world went huge on that allegation. It was only an allegation. Now, of course, social media then whipped it along and made it even worse and made his career even more in tatters. But if you look at the fact, how many viewers know that Kevin Spacey was exonerated last year in the US courts on the Anthony Rapp charges? This is a fault of the media as well. The media very often whip along the initial claims and do not cover the subsequent judicial findings. And that is a major problem of the media, not just of social media.
I think that's
legit because a lot of the media doesn't cover things that they consider to be boring. And that's like a massive problem. We have this media that's driven by like clicks.
Well, I mean, we can blame the media, but I think the bigger conversation is culture, right? Just for every person that is saying that Kevin Spacey was guilty, there needs to be 10 people saying, wait until he has been proven guilty. We don't see that on social media. And the reason for it is because we are so averse to seeing someone being accused of sexual assault, not fraud or other crimes, that they are automatically assumed to be guilty. For every person that said Kevin Spacey was guilty, there should have been 10 people saying, wait until he's been proven guilty. That's the problem.
Can I add one other thing?
Yeah.
One other thing, if I may, which is that the problem of this is the social media thing is you have rapacious hordes of people who want to demonstrate their ostentatious horror and apparent virtue by standing as being opponents of the claim. But you do not find rapacious hordes of people going around social media trying to show that people are innocent. We only have the culture
I agree.
of accusation.
It is the Salem witch trials. It is. And it's McCarthyite, and it's horrible, and it's out of control. And as more and more people go onto social media, it just gets worse and worse. And I think something has to give. These tech companies have to be held more accountable for what they allow to be published on their platforms.
I don't actually know what stance you took on this issue, Piers, so can you remind me? But when it's like Donald Trump was banned from Twitter. What was your view on that?
I don't think he should have been.
Well, I mean, where are we supposed to draw the line here? You know,
I don't think you should be banning any president of the United States.
If we're giving, unlimited power.
Well, I don't think you should be banning.
I actually don't think that.
Let me explain.
Most of these people should. I didn't think Trump.
I think it's a different case.
I don't think Elon Musk should have that much power.
My argument was, if you're going to allow the Ayatollah of Iran and the Taliban and Vladimir Putin to have Twitter accounts, you can't remove Donald Trump.
But who decides? If someone says Trump's done hate speech, I personally don't think Elon Musk, a private billionaire who's, a weird guy, should be given that much power.
Well, he's allowed to. If you pay $44 billion, you can do what you like. Change it.
Oh, really? Can you? You can do what you like. You can say what you like if you have enough money, right?
I said that to wind you up, and it worked. Esther, Mick Jagger. So Mick Jagger's 80 years old today. Quick reaction.
Can I call him Krusty? Anyway, happy birthday.
No, you cannot.
Happy birthday, Mick Jagger. Please stop having kids.
Douglas Murray, Mick Jagger's the same age as Joe Biden. I mean, is there not evidence right there that Joe Biden's problem is not his age, it's everything else?
All I can say is that if Mick Jagger were running for president, I'd back him.
Grace, final word. Mick Jagger, come on. He's 80 years old.
What are you asking me when you say Mick Jagger, come on?
That's the problem.
I'm not asking you, have you, if that's what you're worried about.
I mean, no. What? No.
Happy birthday to him, but listen.
Happy birthday to Mick Jagger.
Can't we all embrace Mick Jagger at 80? The greatest octogenarian in the world, right?
He needs to give up on the little blue pill.
Incredible. No, he doesn't. He doesn't give up anything. Incredible energy, great role model, loves Sir Mick Jagger, the greatest frontman in the history of rock music. Happy birthday, Mick. Keep on rocking. Keep giving us satisfaction.